What is up, guys? Welcome back to episode 98 of the Rip City Rundown podcast. And this is going to be a fun podcast. This is going to be an interesting podcast because there's a lot to talk about. As of the last 24 hours, we've had a ton of Dame quotes come out, a ton of new information regarding a possible Damian Lillard trade, regarding possibly not trading Damian Lillard. And what we're going to try to do today is just break it down and just give what we think is going on, because a lot of smoke's coming. You don't know which reporters you should trust. You don't know what information is truly accurate. And we're going to try to, just based on what we've heard from people close to the Blazers, we're going to try to figure out what is going on and if any of this is truly relevant or is this just the same old, same old. So a lot to talk about. Before we get into it, though, as always, I will say go follow our other pages, our Instagram, rip.city.rundown, our TikTok, rip.city.rundown. Cody can tell you about that, as he always does, and then also our Twitter, because as of now, I think we're officially a month away from the season. I don't remember exactly when the first Blazer game was, but it's getting there. Training camp is around the corner, and we've got a lot of Dame to talk about today. So what's your reaction from today so far, from what you know, Wes?
From what I know so far, first of all, hello everyone. Hello Cole, hello Cody.
Hello.
Yeah, well, really the first time I think Dame has spoken publicly about the situation. So it was nice to hear from him, I suppose. I read the quotes, I looked at, some immediate reactions from Twitter. It's still sinking in. I don't know which way I fall in terms of everything. I'm still trying to figure out what I think and how much I should read into his quotes. And I'm trying to put myself inside the mind of Damian Lillard right now. So hopefully, even just talking to you guys on this pod, we can reveal some things about what is really going on, and maybe I'll be able to make a call. But honestly, first reaction for me, it was just nice to hear him talk about it, because I bet you he has some pent up frustration and just a ton of thoughts that he's been keeping in-house for a while.
Mm-hmm.
On what was it, July 1st? I mean, I thought Dame was 100% gone. I mean, there's a great chance he still will be traded to a team. But, I thought he was done, as in he was just done with Portland, done with the organization. He didn't want anything to do with us. I thought he was pissed that we drafted Scoot. But to see him come publicly, first of all, for those that don't know, Dame was in an interview today, and I'll read the quote. Usually Cole reads the quotes, but he says, "In a perfect
I'm supposed to
world,"
be quote guy here, buddy.
sorry, I'm just taking one quote away from you. "In a perfect world, I could spend my entire career in Portland." That's the first time, like Wes said, Dame has come out publicly, because usually it's, if I'm hearing Dame talk this year, it's on his Instagram story when he's playing with his kids or something like that. But that's the first time we actually heard him talk about the Blazers. And it's beautiful. I'm a Dame fan, and the fact that there's actually a great chance that he is willing to stay with this organization, and whether that's wait for Scoot and Shaden to blossom, I'm just really happy that there's a solid chance Dame will be a Blazer for years to come.
Cody, I
Let
have a
me
question. I have one question for you, though.
Yeah.
Is the world perfect?
Is the world perfect? Unfortunately, the world is not perfect.
I don't think
What
we
a,
live in a perfect world. That's the issue.
that is
um
a great point.
I think what I want to do for this podcast, and I think the best way we can do this, is let's just take each quote he said, or each section of a quote, and let's just break it down. Let's break it down. So first, you said Dame did say in a perfect world he could see himself retire a Blazer. Cody, you think there might be a legit chance he stays. Cole, it sounds like you don't think he's going to stay. Cole, tell me why you don't think he's going to stay, even though he said in a perfect world. Okay, other than the fact that it's not a perfect world, just talk, break down that part.
Here's where I'm at with honestly everything that's been said. I don't think anything he said is changed anything for me personally, because this whole time I've thought Dame doesn't really want to leave, but the situation is almost forcing him to, if he truly wants to get that elusive ring that he's always wanted to get. He's not going to come out and trash the Blazers because he's still on the team right now. And even when he's off the team, if that ends up coming to fruition, he's not going to trash the Blazers because Dame is a respectful, he's a good person. We know that from Dame. There's also a quote that I don't have the exact quote, but I can just paraphrase it. He basically said he wasn't mad that the Blazers drafted Scoot. He knows they had to do what they had to do. Do any of you guys think that Dame wasn't mad? Like, I think we can all agree that that is not just black and white truth. There's more to that. There's people on Twitter when I'm saying that I'm gonna pull it up real quick. I had a quick little Twitter exchange with somebody. It started with when I said Dame was mad that we drafted Scoot. This guy he responds with the quote that Dame said. That Dame said he wasn't pissed off. And I go, Dame's a good guy and a professional. He doesn't dislike Scoot, obviously. He dislikes the fact that we're not actively trying to win right now. By drafting Scoot, whether it's the smart decision or not in the long run, signals you intend to rebuild. It's very simple. And then the guy responded, he goes, you said he was pissed off by it. He clearly said in the clip he's not pissed off. It's very simple. You can't take everything that's in this situation at face value and just every single headline that comes out, everything that comes out of anyone's mouth as truth. Why, if Dame's not mad that we drafted Scoot, why would he ask for a trade? Why did the trade just coincidentally come after we drafted Scoot? Why didn't it come at the beginning of the offseason if it was because he's just wanted to move on after this year? Whether Dame can still like Scoot, he can still respect him, he can still want to be like a mentor to him, but he also knows that, well, we know the direction we want to go. So for those out there saying Dame literally said he wasn't mad, Scoot's not the reason he asked for a trade. Dame's just being the professional here. And it's not even like I'm not trying to overread a situation unless you guys think I am. I think we can agree that Dame, it's not the literal act of us drafting Scoot. It's the fact of what that signifies.
Correct. But I think in this situation, both is true. I think you can be mad, but I think you can also understand.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That's the business of the NBA. So I think it's not an either or situation here. I think it's a both and. Like, I don't know. For example, there's plenty of situations in life when you get mad at someone, but you understand why they did it. It just didn't benefit you. And Dame's mature enough to understand that. And he also, if you look at it from the other side of the coin, he's mature enough to understand what that means for him. He's not just a deer in headlights, fully committed to the Blazers. He even said it in that interview. He said, I could see myself retiring in Portland, but, I don't know the exact words, so I'll paraphrase, but he was like, we had two different goals in mind, pretty much is what he said.
That's the quote, Kyle. I'll just read it real quick. I think this is the quote you're referring to. It's, I got to live my life how I see fit. If me and you don't want the same thing no more, and you showing me that you don't want the same thing no more, then we clearly don't want the same thing.
Exactly. So
that's just how it goes down.
To understand that the Blazers, unfortunately, have picked a different path and one that does not include Damian Lillard. They decided that is the best thing for their franchise. And Dame, of course, and again, we're talking about perfect worlds here. Of course, in a perfect world, Joe Cronin would love to have Dame along in this rebuild because it just expedites it. But Dame also is not going to sit around when he's 32, coming off his career best season, and just sit on losing teams for 3-4 years. I don't blame him. I mean, you're in, let's face it, Dame is, there's plenty of people in the media who have said Dame's best years are behind him, and he continues to produce incredible seasons. But he's closer to 40 than he is to coming into the league. No pun intended, but he's on the clock here. He's on the clock when it comes to his career and getting a ring. And so I don't blame him at all for being upset, but he understands why Portland would do it. He understands. So that's why I think there's the mutual, I'll say mutual respect.
Yep. I agree.
Go ahead, Cody.
I agree. But yeah, it makes sense though. He would partially be hiding his anger. Um, but still,
Just
he
to finish, just to before you keep going though, um, it's similarly like he's not going to come out and actively say he wants to go to Miami. We know he would rather be in Miami, but he can't actively say it. We know that he's probably a little angered by the fact that the Blazers are going this way because they probably told him they were going to build around him. That's kind of what the whole like thing was. We have the quotes in front of us from different points of the past 2 years that we thought we were going to go all in. Again, Dame understands it, and Dame knows that this is at the end of the day, it is a business. But to
Mhm.
say that to take Dame's quotes from today and say, "Oh, Dame's not mad at all." Dame. I actually don't know why Dame asked for a trade because he clearly wasn't mad about Scoot. That's a little like have a little more
Cody,
thought process than that.
Mhm.
go ahead, Cody. What were you gonna say?
just I guess to sum up the whole interview, what happened. Overall, I think it just simply increases, even if it's a little bit, his chances of staying in Portland. Um, I mean, we had the hot takes how Dame would, we were questioning if Dame would start next season or if he'd get traded before, or we'd question if he get traded during the offseason. But I think overall, this whole interview does increase his odds of staying a little bit. I'd say if the odds of Dame staying in Portland the rest of his career were, say, a 5% chance when he requested his trade, I would say it's now 10 to 15% chance
Hmm.
for him to stay. And my question also to you guys is, do you want him to stay? Like, I know that's kind of a weird
That's
question,
a weird question at
but
this point.
like, do you want Damian Lillard on your basketball team? But if we're halfway in, halfway out of contending and rebuilding, I think we're
Third
favoring,
question.
we're leaning towards, rebuilding. So if we are going down that route of rebuilding, I'm sorry, but not having Damian Lillard on your team is beneficial, as you will lose less games, you'll have more experience in your youngings to, have more
And you'll
minutes.
get more players to be a part of that rebuild if you do trade them. So
Exactly. But then again, you have Damian Lillard, you're going to watch the Blazers' best player of all time drop 30 a night. And let's say, Scoot and Shaden become insane next season, then boom, you have Damian Lillard too, and you're on your way to a deep playoff run, maybe more. So, do you guys want him to stay or not? Basically,
As I've said, I think I've said this for a while now, probably since the trade went down. Um, as a fan of the future of the Blazers, you're right, Cody. You are correct in the sense that if Portland is committing to a rebuild, it sounds crazy because it sounds like you don't want Dame on your team. Of course, every team in the league would like a Damian Lillard on their roster, including Portland. But when it comes to what are the team's goals in 3 to 5 years, the way you achieve those is by having a subpar roster. So the answer, you're right, would be no. But the nostalgic fan in me that wants to actually watch good basketball and get excited for the Blazers game every night and get excited for a random Tuesday night game in Detroit when we're 500 because I get to maybe this is the night Dame goes for 70. Like, let's not underestimate the fact that Dame is like, it came to a point last year and even the year before, just because how incompetent the GM was before, Neil and even Joe has had his fair share of struggles. But like, there was a point where I would turn on the TV to watch Dame, not watch the Blazers. Like,
that's
I think
very
that's fair.
actual facts.
So I would love for, I would rather have Dame on my team than not, but I'm also like,
you'll have one
we,
answer.
yeah, well,
Look,
and this is my answer. We've said this in past, I've said this in past podcasts. Players come and go, but the team is always there. So if the team wants to commit to a rebuild, then I'm going to say no, I don't want Dame on my team. It's not that I don't want Dame on my team. It's just that yeah.
Rebuilding. I understand.
if you're telling me, would I rather go into next season with Dame in this roster or this roster plus maybe two young guys plus some more draft picks? I would take the two young guys with the draft picks because I'm not stupid enough to think that this team is going to suddenly be a championship contender in 2 years. Because even if Scoot turns into an all-star caliber player, Dame's still an all-star when he's 35 in 2 years. Shaden or Anthony Popson is an all-star caliber. That's three. What position do they play, Cody?
They play the point guard position.
Yeah, they all are guards. And at the end of the day, it's just going to kind of be running it back to what it's been in the past. However, actually, no, there's zero however to that. I did want to just pose the quick question. And it's a super hard question because I want you to try to take your emotional, like your heart out of it on what you want as a fan and just, again, look at it from the team perspective. Or you can look at it from the emotional perspective. I don't care. Just take it how you want. Would you rather be going into next season with what we're at right now, possibly trading Dame and maybe starting a rebuild, or would you rather not have Scoot and have Mikal Bridges on this roster right now?
So basically, would
you rather do you look back and say you wish we traded the pick?
Yeah, okay. My emotions are I want Dame to win a championship here. I've been on that boat for so long, for so many years. So that's my emotional thing. But since we have Scoot, we've had Shaden, Ant's growing from a team perspective. Now I think the nail in the coffin was when we drafted Scoot. Because before then I was like, we can still rebuild, we can trade the pick. But once we actually now have Scoot, I think the better thing for the team would be to fully rebuild.
But I'm saying before we drafted Scoot, I'm just saying
before.
Would you rather go be where we are right now, or would you rather have done what we talked about for the 3 months after the trade deadline?
Then I would say trade, because I was always on that.
I mean, it's hard because again, I
would rather trade the pick, but I think we have a better chance of the title going this route. But I would have rather traded the pick. It would have been more fun to watch.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm not. I don't even want to go down that. We're where we are. We made our podcast. We were late last week. We posted on Friday or Saturday, so I don't think we ever talked about this so-called mystery Eastern Conference team that is reportedly trying to get in on the Dame sweepstakes. There's no confirmation on who that team is, but I have seen some rumors
that the
Raptors might be
the Raptors.
And
I wish it was the Celtics.
That would honestly just, I feel like that would hurt the most if he went to the Raptors, because these last 6 months we've been talking about getting the Raptors stars and they're just going to take our star. That would be quite the turn of events if it is the Raptors. But
yeah, but if it's
what would be your thoughts on that?
Okay, so
I'm curious what the package would be.
Yes, the package obviously
Scotty
is what talks. If it's Scotty, I think I would be more excited about than what Miami's offering over at the thrift store. The thing about if it's the Raptors and we trade with the Raptors, I wouldn't hate it, but admittedly there would be a little bit of excitement just to spite Miami, just because I feel like they just have not. Well, who said, was it Woj? Who said that Miami is daring Portland to go out into the marketplace?
Yeah, reportedly Miami is, as we've heard, trying to give up the least they possibly can to get Dame, and they are daring the Blazers to go out and see if there's a better trade. If
you're Miami, like, I get initially playing hardball to see, but once the Blazers like call your bluff, like pony up, and if you like Miami, you have to think their front office is sitting there, and you have to think they're in a meeting or whatever, and they're like, we're not winning a title without additional help. Like, they were in the play-in. They were 3 minutes away from not even going to the playoffs. Like, let's not act like they're going back to the conference finals.
I think this is where what's going through Miami's head, and this is like giving them the most benefit of the doubt. Maybe they're actually just brain dead and think they're just that franchise, which I wouldn't be surprised if they do think that. I think that they are doing this whole thing. I dare you to go into the trade market and see if there's better, but they know that Portland, Joe Cronin, and like deep down wants to do right by Dame. So he'll see that there is better trade offers, and then he'll come back, tell them the trade offers, and then Miami will hopefully pony up and give their best offer. but Miami's
Maybe,
expecting them to come back to them with
maybe.
what those offers are. You never know.
I just
just
hate.
hope-
Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
just hope Dame gets traded to a team in the East that's contending. That's
The
not
Raptors would be
Miami.
so weird for Dame. I almost feel like it would just be like this all over again.
I kind of do feel that way, and I hope he
Him and
doesn't go to
Gary
the
Trent.
Raptors. But like, imagine just him beating Miami in the East. That'd kind of just be.
That
I
would be
think the
funny.
Raptors would be
Hilarious.
good though,
You
because
think
think
he'd fit
about
in
it.
well
Just,
there?
just think about it. Just think about it. You have Dame and Gary Trent, which is that's just the Blazers, but OG Scotty Siakam
They
compared
wouldn't
to
have all those
Norm.
guys though,
Yeah,
because
they're
we
gonna
have to
give
get
Okay.
them
the whole
us.
point is the package is better.
Well, okay,
We would
fine.
get Scotty
You're right.
plus
You're right.
like
But they still have Siakam because we don't want Siakam because he won't resign with us.
I
So they'll
don't
still have Siakam, and then Siakam would resign if Dame is there. I'm just saying it's not as bad as people think because Dame makes teams that much better.
No, I agree. I'm just gonna pull up the trade machine. I'm not sure like what Scotty's salary is. I don't. He might still be on his. I think he's still on his rookie contract. So
It was OG.
I would be curious to see how we would. Let's see, Toronto, second team, Portland. Yeah, so Scotty is still on his rookie contract. So we take Scotty. I honestly don't know how they would. I guess it would have to be another 3-team trade or something because, or
Mhm.
honestly, maybe they don't give us Scotty, and it's like, would you take this offer? OG, Boucher, Grady Dick, and like 3 first-round picks.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, I would.
Something like that, but-
I'd really hope if we do end up making any moves with the
It's
Raptors.
better than Miami.
I'm not a big Scotty Barnes fan, but I would rather him for sure over OG because OG's a guy like what is OG right? How old is he right now? 26. I guess he would be 29 when you're
I
inevitably
mean,
trying
he'd
to
be prime, and
win.
he's like
But
top
also
five
you would have
defensive
to give him a
player.
fat contract because he's in a 1-year deal. I think Toronto would just be very interesting. It would not be what I would have expected because they're obviously not one of the Eastern Conference elites. So it would almost be
That's what
like
Dame wants.
it's almost like they're trying to pull off what they did with Kawhi again, just with a player that's not as good as Kawhi.
Dame wants a
But
fighting chance.
And we could also
exactly.
like trade for
Like how
well,
much
like,
better of a situation would that be in Toronto for Dame than actually it would be better with Portland. I'm still thinking if
I
we
mean,
were
he
to make
still
a
has a
trade.
powerhouse of a team in Toronto, but I think the big question for our team that we've been saying for a while is the Blazers are going to need a big, and if Scoot and Shaden and Anthony are going to
The
develop,
Raptors have
we're
those.
going to need a big. And my question to you guys is, let's say the Blazers in, we'll say 4 to 5, 6-ish years from now are at that level where we can actually go all in and possibly contend. We have no big men right now. Do you think that big men that will be in that lineup with Scoot and Shaden 5 years down the line, are they in the league yet or not? Are they on a team currently, or do you think so? You think they're going to be drafted basically?
Yeah, I think
Cooper Flag.
I wish. I hope we're not bad for 2 more years because that would be what it would take to get him. But next year's draft is supposedly littered with big men talent. I don't think it's as again we're
Well,
still a year
imagine we
out,
got
so
Victor.
it could be great, but well, true, yeah, that would have been great. But I think come next year we're gonna be at the top of the lottery and we'll have a chance to get a really good big talent. There's no it would have to be a winger big. There's no shot we go into next year's draft and like there's 2 guards at the top and we take the guard. I don't want to put anything past
I think
the
if that
Blazers.
was the case, we would actually trade the pick. I think you would have to trade the pick.
But
But you know what's better than 4 guards?
that's
5
what we
guards.
said this year. If we were getting a guard, you have to trade the pick, but the value of the pick was too high. We don't need to speculate about next year's
Let me go
draft.
back to Miami for a second because I had a point I wanted to make. It irritates me so much when these big market teams with like good history just like think they can just alpha a small market team and say, well, look at us. We're the Miami Heat. We can do what we want. We can give you freaking Jaime Jaquez, who's getting locked up by people in the NCAA tournament. And Nikola Jovic, who the only reason why people think he's good is because he's one letter off from Jokic. So, I mean, I don't know. I think the Raptors are going to be way more interesting for Portland in terms of what the Raptors have, because when I think of disruptive teams that are defensive minded and have long, rangy, athletic bigs, I literally think of the Raptors.
Yeah.
Like if you want to like go back and watch literally Blazer Raptors games and watch what they do to Dame, like it's kind of crazy.
Like they just need the Raptors. They would just be a perfect fit in that team.
It would.
They have big players. They have length. Like they just need a flashy guard that can score. Their defense is solid already. They're just missing like Fred VanVleet or Damian Lillard. Like that's the difference maker between.
Took the words right out of my mouth. What do the Blazers need? Length, athleticism, and defense and size. What do the Raptors need? They literally just probably need scoring. Like they have a great coach and great defense. Like they're filling like a 25 plus point per game void. Like I get Fred was scoring the ball, but Fred doesn't bend to defenses like Dame does.
He also has the lowest field goal percentage in the NBA, so that doesn't help.
But wow, did not know that. Stat man coming in hot right there. Oh my
god! Last year, which just makes the contract even more puzzling.
Dude, we're gonna we actually make it an amazing lottery pick because every West team is going to be trying. I touched on this last podcast, but name a West team that's supposed to be worse than us. Like, the Spurs have Victor, OKC's good, and then anyone in the playoffs.
Can't be Victor.
Team would be the Rockets, but
that's it.
Can't be the Spurs. The Spurs are going to be good because Victor's an 84.
Yeah, on NBA 2K. He's higher than Draymond Green and Anthony Simons. That is just
four-time champ Draymond Green.
That's gonna be really bad when Victor is inevitably like so good this year.
You think?
I mean, I think all I know is we're gonna see him this December. So
this is kind of a sidebar, but I feel like he's been hyped up so much that like NBA players are kind of not make it personal, but have their attention ready when they're playing him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like a lot of let's try harder. I don't know. Just
but he's also like skinny as frick.
Yeah, he's 215 pounds at 7'4".
Poor dude.
Donovan Mitchell weighs more than him. Like, and he's 6'1". So
I think Victor will be just fine.
All right, hey, we'll see. Basketball.
We're not. Obviously, he's going to be just fine. We're just saying he's not going to be like he's not going to make the Spurs instant like. Team.
Just because he's an 84 in 2K doesn't mean that.
Well,
they're going to be good.
He's better than our best player, Simons.
I just think length and height, like you gotta be strong in the NBA. It's not the NFL, but you gotta be strong. It's like
we talked about the Raptors being a mystery team.
Let's talk about the Spurs. I mean, honestly, I don't think Victor's going to be that good. We should just trade for Victor.
Are there any other teams you think could be the mystery Eastern Conference team?
The Celtics.
Yeah, that's my only other thought. Or the Sixers. I think the Sixers could honestly be that too, because they're never gonna want to rebuild. They're always gonna want to keep trying.
I'm hanging up the phone on the Sixers.
Hey,
would you do? I'm just saying.
Would you do Dame? Team. Would you trade Dame, Jeremy, and a first for Joel Embiid?
Oh yeah, it's obviously. Yeah. I've been on that route the whole time about
trade Dame. Not trade.
No.
Yeah, I would do that.
Yeah, listen, Cody. I knew you'd say no to that.
Dame,
Jeremy, and a first.
I mean, if we're trading Dame, just get a player that arguably is better than Dame. So,
wait, why would you do that? What?
Why would you not? If you're, why would the Sixers do that?
Trade Dame for Embiid.
Would you rather trade Dame for the Miami package or trade Dame for Embiid?
Think about it. You literally just got the same player at a big position, and you have the horses. You have the little guards. Yeah. The horses coming up.
It's a dumb hypothetical because like obviously it's not going to happen. And the whole point would be to pair Dame with Embiid, but just
it is a dumb hypothetical.
I guess what I see from that is Joel's 29, and 3 years from now, our young so-called scoring horses can actually pair up well with him. So in that regard, that makes sense.
Yeah,
so, sure.
It is a dumb hypothetical, but so has every
Sixers would absolutely not do that.
So.
No,
Celtics
the Sixers
is interesting.
The Celtics, my initial thought was
Brown.
But is that contract like like I guess you could
I mean,
just
if he wasn't,
eat the money on a bad team.
if he didn't want, if he didn't
He's a
want Jaylen
guard.
Brown,
He's a guard. He's a guard.
he's more of a three,
He's a
I think.
guard.
If he
I
didn't
don't
want
think-
Jaylen Brown when we had Dame, then why would he want Jaylen Brown now? You have to think he literally just wants the young guys and just be super duper flexible.
I don't think the Celtics need to change.
I don't
much
think
if
Brown
they're in their
does Brown
position.
offer you flexibility with
No,
$300
no,
million?
exactly.
Yeah,
that's why I'm
so-
saying if he didn't want Brown with Dame to try to go win, then I don't think he would want.
Well, I think
Brown out.
I would assume Joe Cronin wanted Jaylen Brown. I just think the Celtics wanted an egregious amount in return, similar to how
I don't think
Joe
Joe.
Cronin
I don't think Joe
wanted McHale, but the reports that the Nets were
I don't
asking
think
for a
Joe
lot.
Cronin wanted McHale.
I think he definitely inquired.
Okay,
I
yeah,
don't
he probably
think-
inquired and was like, "Can I give you?"
Yeah,
Anthony
he's probably
Simons?"
like,
And
"Can I
that's
give
it.
you number 3 and blah 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 and blah blah blah?" And they were like, "No, we want number 3 and Shaden."
We're not getting into
Which-
this.
Exactly. Because
Again, we wanted
have-
Joe.
we
Again,
have.
I thought we agreed that Joe's wanted to rebuild this whole time.
Well, I did, but I just
I
think
think I don't think it's
Celtics
that
are-
simple. I think it's a completely fluid situation because what if all of a sudden Joel Embiid asked out? What if all of a sudden Jaylen Brown didn't want to resign because he thinks Boston fans are racist? What if Julius Randle asked out? I mean, that doesn't apply to us because no one wants Julius Randle. But the point is that I think it's a fluid situation. Like I think he definitely was like, if the Nets offer something that's fair and reasonable, like I think you take a look at it. I mean, you have to be flexible as a general manager because there's 29 other situations going around that affects your team.
Well, I know, but you also can't just expect other teams to lie over and accept a measly offer. I don't think Joe.
Well, Miami thinks that's what we're going to do. So
I know, and that's not happening. We're seeing it
exactly.
in 4K
Exactly.
right now. This is probably what Joe was trying to do to other GMs. Like if we're being honest, you got to pony up and give a great offer. And I'm assuming we probably didn't do that for a lot of the stars.
Do you think Ant number 3 and Shaden for Mikal Bridges is a great offer?
That wasn't what the offer was.
Then what was the offer?
We don't know.
Okay, so how do you know it's not that?
Because I'm gonna assume that that's not the offer. That's like it's
okay. I'm gonna assume it is the offer.
A common brain would have that. A common NBA fan that knows basketball knows that.
I think Cody. I feel like we talked about this. I feel like teams saw that Dame was teetering on the edge, and that is just that's an iron hand. That is so much leverage over the Blazers. Literally, the Nets could have been like, Dame might leave. So should we give the Blazers a get out of jail free card and give them Mikal Bridges so Dame stays in Portland? Like, I think that's definitely part of it. I mean, the Blazers screwed themselves one way or another with atrocious front office choices over the course of Lillard's career. Well, that's non-negotiable. That's obviously happened, but like I'm not going to sit here and say that Joe Cronin just scoffed at the idea of going to get Damian Lillard talent. He definitely was trying.
Yeah,
and then no one gave him an offer he deemed was fair or was worth the value of Scoot Henderson, and he pivoted, and now they're rebuilding. I think that's what it is.
It's just about aggression. If you just went more aggressive, we could have went down that route. But it doesn't matter, guys, because we have Scoot.
You know who else is aggressive? Is Daryl Morey. How many titles does he have?
How many?
Probably 0.
Yeah, and we have no titles in the last 35 years either. Would you rather?
It's hard to win a championship.
Huh?
It is.
I'm not saying like,
but I'm saying, would you rather be what Daryl Morey was with the Rockets and go to like 4 Western Conference Finals? And
no, I'd rather be the Denver Nuggets and draft Jokic 41st. That's what I would like to do.
Oh, that would be great.
Rockets,
and that's another point.
In
Every single team
2018
that's won a championship makes a move that maybe isn't the biggest move, but it's a big starting lineup change. No one thought that Aaron Gordon trade was going to make the Nuggets suddenly championship contenders, and not saying that made them championship contenders, but he was a key part. Like,
oh yeah, they had great.
Again, the Raptors won a championship, and no one's saying the Raptors are some juggernaut. We're saying we could have beat them if we made it to the finals. You don't have to have the best team on paper. You just have to have a team with a fighting chance. And all I'm saying is, especially if all these Blazer fans that slob over Shaden every day and say that he's going to be an all-star caliber player this year, then how is this lineup of Dame, Shaden, Jeremy, and Mikal Bridges not an NBA championship contender? Like, or is Shaden not that guy? Like, pick one. Because if he's the guy in the rebuild, then how is he not the guy in a championship team?
We had Damian Lillard, and we had no help for him. And now we're going to have Scoot Henderson, and probably also have no help for him. So we're
Okay,
probably
we're
going to be in a
getting
cycle
down
for a while.
to the core of this we're getting down to the core, which we can talk about again. But this is the most realistic hat that I can put on here. It's pessimistic too, but this is the most. Do you want to give Dame a run for 2 years and then start the rebuild in 2 years, or do you just want to start the rebuild now?
I would
Definitely.
I would rather do the run for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So
Even
so
if I
you'd
was a
rather get
GM.
bounced in the second round twice and then rebuild, as opposed to get bounced in the second round by Denver twice, or just start rebuilding now. I'm not saying there's a right answer. It's whatever
I would
you want to do.
I would rather get bounced by Denver, but each year like have a chance. And it's basically, would you rather win from 2026 to 2036, or maybe win from 23 to 24 and then win from 28 to 38? It's just you're pushing it back 2 years to have 2 more years of like I think it's just such a stupid argument to say. Again, my words could be completely stupid if like again, Scoot could be a generational player and be the best player of all time. And boy, do I hope he is. But so could next year's 3rd overall pick. Like it's very
going for it is just under like we made it to the Western Conference Finals with a very undersized team, and like a couple more things go right.
Exactly. And
who knows? Look at the Nuggets. Look at the Nuggets last season. The Nuggets last season got gentlemen swept by the Warriors. No one thought they would actually be that team next year, but they were. They didn't make that many changes, but they were always in that realm of just competing and close enough, and a couple things went right for them. And boom, they won a championship. I'm not going to say easily, but to be honest, their run was not the hardest. They play in Miami Heat team in the finals. They beat They beat a Warriors team that just
swept the Lakers.
They swept the Lakers. They played a Warriors team that didn't look like themselves. No,
bro. Honestly, was the West
the Lakers
that
beat the Warriors
insane this past year? Was the West that crazy? If the Lakers as like a playing team made it
for the Nuggets, no. For the Blazers, yes, it is.
But that's exactly. But what if we put the Blazers on the Lakers pedestal? Because are you
okay? Yeah, let's do that. We get bound
Okay, we're the 4th best team in the NBA. Or do you really think we're going to be the best team talent-wise in the NBA in the next 15 years? Probably not.
No, but I'm not saying that. But I think that going into the playoffs as a 7 seed every year and hope you get lightning in a bottle, I don't think is a great plan. That's what we've been doing for the past 10 years.
I think you just have to be one level.
Isn't the definition of insanity?
Yeah, and also in the
thing over and over again.
Yeah, and I want us to not do the same thing. I want us to actually make one big ass trade.
And we weren't that in 2019. We weren't
if that. If we ran it back with the same roster,
we did make a big trade
last year. Then I would.
We did make a big trade.
What'd we do,
dude? We got Jeremy Grant.
Oh my god, Joe Cronin, you are him. Let's go,
Joe Cronin.
And also this quote comes out that Joe Cronin supposedly.
Joe Cronin is going to make you eat.
The reason this isn't
eat it.
The reason this Dame trade isn't happening is because the Blazers don't know what they want. Joe,
hold on.
Want
you started at the top. You said, who can we trust? Who can we not? I'm not saying that quote is incorrect. I'm just saying like let's not just take every quote as absolute truth. I'm defending the Blazers here because it very well could be Joe Cronin doesn't know what he wants. In fact, he could still be on a walk right now. He could still be on the same walk. Who knows?
Probably is.
I'm just worried we're gonna be the Magic the next 3 years, and I just
very possible
to happen.
Very, very possible.
Exactly.
So
the thing is, how many teams that have won a recent championship like went through a big rebuild that culminated in a championship? It doesn't happen a lot, honestly.
Kind of, I would say the Nuggets slightly.
The Nuggets were never
they were always
never a top 5 pick. The Nuggets' highest pick was Jamal Murray, 7th pick.
Okay, you're right. The Nuggets got Jokic 41st. They got Murray in the lottery, and then they got MPJ at the back end of the first round because he just had injuries.
Exactly.
They out and getting him.
We can agree they kind of got lucky. They lucked into some picks.
So they drafted extremely well.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what the Blazers are hoping to do, I guess. I mean,
there's
not an argument. You can't make an argument for them to. There's always a better argument for why a team is not going to win the championship than for why a team will win the championship. So this is kind of a pointless exercise to argue why the Blazers can win a championship because there's always going to be a counter argument. There's always a counter argument. So in 2027, when Scoot Henderson is MVP and wins the finals for the Portland Trailblazers, you're going to eat your words. And what you're going to say is great. I hope they prove me wrong. But let's have some accountability here. Like if you're gonna trash on Joe here, like you better, like I don't want to see you celebrating if we win. You better be like, dang it. I'm just kidding.
I will. I'll be pissed.
I'm kidding.
The day the Blazers win a championship will be probably top 10 happiest days of my life.
I forgot to mention.
Well, you're not gonna have that day in your
the
life.
biggest
So
part.
go ahead and slide another one in the top 10.
Damn.
Okay. Well, the Nuggets. Well, the biggest part of why the Nuggets won. This is the most underrated part of why they were good. Is they unfortunately chose Jokic over Nurkic, which was the smartest decision of all time.
Yeah. Why can't
Oh,
we?
hey, they- No,
Why
they
can't we
gave-
do that?
It was actually Nurkic over Plumlee, and I think Nurk would. No, I'm kidding, but
We took Nurk over Plumlee.
Nurk ended up being better than Plumlee. But oh my gosh, if we got
Great.
Jokic,
Cool.
yeah, you're right. I don't care at all. Mason Plumlee right now, I don't know what he's doing, but
Dog, he's shooting left-handed free throws in Charlotte is what he's doing.
that is crazy. Oh my gosh, Mason Plumlee. Oh my gosh. I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, just talking about the Denver's run. I feel like Denver was kind of like us, just like a bottom-ish tier playoff team the last 6 years. But I don't know, a couple of things went their way, and that's why I'm always opposed to just trying and swinging and trying to win and building better. But it's fine. It's fine. I've already accepted that we're down this route.
Yeah.
I've already accepted that we're here, and Scoot's gonna be our Finals MVP when we do, not if we do, when we do, when we do win a championship.
You're beat.
In 2027 when I'm approaching my 30s, but I don't know what I'm saying, but
the reason I'm just like so mad and it got brought back up to the forefront is just because when I see people on Twitter saying Joe Cronin is a great GM, I get mad. It actually makes my blood boil.
Fair, but
makes you vomit in your mouth.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. For people who think that I'm calling Joe Cronin a good GM, I'm not. But I'm not going to call him a bad GM yet.
But honestly, this is what like the classic NFL GM does when they suck, when they know they've done a bad job. Then their last ditch effort is, okay, let me just go get the young guy, buys me time. Joe's just trying to buy himself time. He knows he hadn't done it. That's exactly probably what Joe's doing. I actually, unless he came in and when they hired him, they were like, okay, we'll give you the full green light to do a rebuild. You choose. And
I wouldn't put anything past Jody here.
Being a GM,
this would be Jody.
Oh my gosh, bro.
Okay,
being Jody, bro.
Yeah, that person is a bot. But I was gonna say, being a GM is kind of like playing poker. You're gonna get dealt hands in the draft. You don't know what's.
Didn't we say Joe had pocket aces?
Yeah, exactly. But it's like you don't know what hand you're gonna get. But the thing about poker is good players win poker typically.
No.
Good players win.
Go in full. Go ahead, Cody. Go ahead.
Good players typically win poker, but the worst player, the worst player can win poker. And
Joe,
and that's why being a GM, I argue, can almost be sometimes easy because you just get luck that goes your way. You get a good hand and you win, and it's like, look how good I am.
Like, no way the Nuggets actually drafted Jokic and they were like,
yeah, I'm him.
He's gonna be 2-time MVP. He's gonna be possibly one of the best centers of all time.
I saw this.
Got lucky.
No, you didn't. You didn't see this.
Hopefully Ryan repairs
Joe
that.
had pocket aces. Joe had pocket aces, and he had everyone trapped. And everyone was like, I'll check. And Joe had a chance to raise and really go all in. Joe went.
Yeah, Joe just checked.
Joe checked.
Joe said, I'll just do what's expected of a typical GM. I'm not going to go out of my way.
We have a new hand now. We have Scoot and Shaden. What card is Scoot going to be? Is he going to be an ace? Is he going to be a king?
I hate to say it. I think right now, this is what I'm saying. The Nuggets over there, the Nuggets have a 3 of a kind. Okay,
Right now, they have a Joker card. Actually,
the Bucks have a full house. If Giannis is going to commit, the Bucks have a full house because Giannis is crazy. The Blazers need a royal flush.
The Blazers have a 2-7.
Yeah, nice. The Blazers have a. This is what Joe Cronin's doing. Scoot is a queen. Not in that way. He's a queen card.
Yeah.
Shaden Sharp is a 10. Joe is hoping to get Jack, King, Ace in the next 3 cards. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh,
And those cards consist of like Giannis touring his ACL. Just stupid luck. Just kidding. But
yeah, it's like
Ryan
it's like the
Repair
Jack-
turning into
it's-
Kawhi Leonard.
No, yeah, it's like
aliens destroying the city of Los Angeles.
It's like the Jack is Repair becomes a Kawhi 2.0. The King is Jokic has a horse riding incident and can't play ever again. And the Ace is like
We re-signed Myers Leonard and he turns into a 30-point per game scorer for us.
No, the Ace is like we get the first pick and we draft Bronny, so LeBron comes to Portland for a year or something.
Yeah.
And then we fold.
God, I love this team so much. I love this team.
It would be so fun if we were good. Dude, what is
do you remember those
good with this channel?
Do you remember those vibes? Early college, end of high school for Wes Cole, but just,
dude, oh my god,
watching playoff games.
My senior year of high school, I wake up because admittedly I did not watch Game 5 against the Thunder live, unfortunately.
Well, I didn't either.
I wake up, I see that we won.
You could have gone, Cody.
I open Instagram. I kid you not. The first 25 posts I see are about the Blazers, and I feel like I'm at the center of the world. I'm like, my team, who sits in the freaking corner of the United States, is on freaking House of Highlights for once.
I walked into school the next day. No one knows I'm a Blazer fan. I'm the main character. I'm him.
I know.
You're him. And
House of Highlights, dude?
The day House of Highlights is posting Dame's game winner over Steph Curry's pre-breakfast routine of him making cereal in the morning.
Preach to the choir.
It's a good day.
And you're posting on Dame Daily.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say in 2019, I was on House of Highlights. Damian Lillard this, Damian Lillard that. Now I'm not even following House of Highlights because freaking they're talking about Curry gained 15 pounds of muscle in 15 years. Are you kidding me?
That was a legit post.
Omar.
1 minute. 1 minute.
As one man once said, Omar got a Gomar.
Yeah. He literally posted Steph Curry gaining 15 pounds in his career, and he's been in the career for like 13, 12 years. That's 1.2 pounds a year. That is
I can get that in one
beyond
meal.
Crazy.
I can get that in one
beyond
meal.
Crazy. That is beyond writing. That is just I gained 15 pounds in the last year of purely, and I'm skinny, fine, but still, that's crazy. That's next level meat.
Sorry, we're okay. Anything else? We're gonna circle back.
No, I think we're good.
That was good. That was fun.
Probably over an hour, but maybe not.
I've been needing a Blazer rant. I've been so quiet when it comes to the Blazers.
Okay, here we go.
It felt good to talk about how just shit we are.
We're taking off
French.
we're taking off the bad hat. Put on the optimistic hat. What are you looking forward to in the Scoot era? Just try, Cole.
No, I thought you were gonna say, put on your optimistic hat. What is your record prediction? You said what was the question again?
What are you looking forward to in this? Cody, your optimism point might be Damian Lillard is gonna stay.
My optimistic point is I think Scoot's gonna turn into a CP3 type facilitator with better shooting. And he's gonna
this
team.
That might be the most exciting take I've ever heard you say. Because if that happens, boy, does Joe Cronin look like a genius.
That was a good comparison too. I like CP3. I'm saying expectations for Scoot.
Just what are you looking forward to?
I'm just looking for. I mean, I really like Scoot as a person too. So I'm just looking forward to like all the Scoot content because
honestly, you know what? I do think
if Scoot ends up popping and the Blazers are good in 2 to 3 years, I think the Blazers could be one of the more fun teams, and they'll have a lot of national TV games, hopefully, and stuff like that.
Yeah. You know what? Here's my comp. Here's my comp for the Blazers. The Blazers right now are like the Giants, and here's why. The Giants went from Eli Manning to Daniel Jones. The Blazers are going from Dame to Scoot. I'm not calling Eli Dame, but Eli did deliver the Giants 2
that's
Super
a fine
Bowls.
comparison. The other one, Daniel Jones.
Scoot and Danny Dimes, okay? It's going to be rough sledding in the first 3 years, but what the Giants are banking on, it is what the Giants are banking on.
Like the Panthers right now,
virtually 25 plus years of solid quarterback play, possibly even Super Bowl championship quality in terms of catching lightning in a bottle. Daniel Jones, we saw, okay, I get we were down 20-0 to the Cardinals, but like Daniel Jones has potential to be a top 10 quarterback in this league. Okay. And the Giants were bad since 2018. Yeah. We got the Panthers fan up here and we got like a Seahawks fan down here or something. Like I said, Daniel Jones has he's paid like a top 10 quarterback, so he better have top 10 potential. But the Giants were bad for a few years, and now they made the playoffs last year. They're starting to like invest a little bit in Daniel Jones. I'm just saying the Blazers are going to be like the Giants, where they just hope to get lightning in a bottle, like the Raptors or just like something like this. And the Blazers are going to ride Scoot.
I think Desmond Ryder's a better quarterback than Daniel Jones.
Desmond Ryder.
I'm just kidding. But I'm kidding.
Huh?
Nothing.
Never mind.
Desmond Ryder? Is that what you said?
Never mind.
Ritter.
Yeah, it's Ritter.
Okay, I don't know.
All I'm saying, I wish we just got
Whoa.
cares?
I was joking.
We got to move on.
No, we don't.
We've been rocking for a while.
NFL podcasts. Let's make one.
Oh gosh, don't even get me started on the Panthers.
But that's my comparison. The Blazers, what Scoot can bring to the table is a continuation of solid, just stable point guard play, and not a lot of teams have the blessing to have 20 plus years of just like, well, we know he's playing point guard, pencil in the point guard. Not saying he's the best point guard in the league, but like the Giants with Eli to Daniel Jones, like it's similar to the Blazers.
Hopefully Scoot's better than Danny Dimes, but that's all I'll say.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, obviously. But Daniel Jones is going to win the Giants a Super Bowl.
Wow. I thought we've heard the worst of his takes before. That's a new one. Actually, that's not even bad.
I'm clipping this. It's September 19th at 6:50, 2023. Okay. I can always, if the Daniel Jones leads the Giants Super Bowl, I will hold this to you.
I'm faster than Daniel Jones. I could beat him in a 40-yard.
No, you're not. Daniel Jones is like fat. Like, have you not seen it? He's faster than okay, I'm not gonna say he's faster than Tom
I don't
Brady.
you can hold that to me, but I mean that doesn't match the laundry list of bad takes you have about the Blazers that we could hold to you.
You're right. I'll start making pessimistic takes for the sake of the podcast. I'll start doing that.
I mean, it probably would be more realistic.
All right, wrap it up. Wrap it up.
All right, yeah, that's gonna wrap. Comment below if you want Dame to get traded to the Raptors.
Called entertainment.
What is the classic Blazer fan think of this whole thing? So let us know in the comments. Let us know where you agree or disagree. I have a feeling most of the comments are going to disagree because that's just what it happens to be most of the time. But if you're still listening now, thank you guys, and we'll see you guys in the next podcast. Peace.